Hey, YouTube, breaking news. The legendary high school head coach, Rush Propst, has resigned. So if you didn't know, let me start over. If you don't know who Rush Propst is, he's one of the greatest high school coaches of all time in Alabama, in Georgia, and he's known for cheating. Just straight up, he's known for cheating. I can go through the whole deal, but here's how it works. There was a reality show back in the early 2000s, before Netflix, before any of this stuff. It was on MTV, and it was called Two-A-Days. And it was about this high school team in Alabama dominating, right? Shout out to Hoover. So he dominates at Hoover, but eventually gets fired. And for a number of reasons. If you want to look into it, I think it's called Hoovergate. It was about a radio show, and they finally admitted that he had a second family. This dude was banging a girl in Pell City. And he wasn't just cheating on his wife that he had been with for many, many years, like 20 years. He wasn't just cheating on her. He had a second family, bro. He had kids and another mistress, and he was raising them, and they'd come to the games. They'd be in the stands with signs and shit, cheering on dad. You can't tell me the wife didn't know. And the wife's not a looker, but the mistress is. Whole nother story, bro. Okay? Gets a little crazy. This dude was giving out medicine, drugs, and shit to the players, doing a ton of things wrong. I want to tell you guys, the accusations for Rush Propst follow him wherever he goes. Wherever he goes. Okay? So he ended up in Georgia, win state titles wherever he goes. Let me just say that. This man can coach some football. He'll make some winners out of somebody. But he's a cheater. But he's a cheater. So when he was at Valdosta and he was trying to get Jake Garcia to be eligible, he actually got recorded by a dude named Nubby. Listen, I have the whole life story on Rush Propst and all these accusations on TikTok. I don't want to rehash them all, but when Nubs went out there and recorded this man saying, we got to pay our players. We need some funny money. How do you think Nick Chubb made it over here and did that? And he started dropping names and how people get paid and all this. Listen, a lot of people are backpedaling. He started saying, I don't know anybody about getting paid in Georgia. I don't know. Dude, slow down. Everybody was getting paid. You were trying to do it. Somebody had an axe to grind with you, got you fired. So then he goes to Pell City. Pell City's one of the worst teams in the state. They don't win any games. They magically get a transfer quarterback from California. Well, my stepdad used to play for you, and he really believes in you. Okay, bro, whatever. Listen, there's always been controversy surrounding him. This time, I think they're nitpicking at him. This time, it was something about the misuse of funds to feed the football team. It was just misusing resources. Let me tell you guys something. I was in the Army. I was a platoon sergeant. I was in charge, bro. I had 30 people working for me. And I had to move my household goods one day. I told all my soldiers, meet me at the house. And I made them lift all of my household goods into the U-Haul. I promise you. I bought them dudes Little Caesars pizza, bro. My first sergeant sat me down and said, Rico, you just abuse of power. You just, abused your greater position to obtain pleasure, profit, and personal safety. All this shit. And I was looking at that dude like, what are you doing, bro? Why are you flipping out? Misuse of resources, Rico. I said, man, get a grip, bro. They loved me. They wanted to be there. We were just dapping it up anyways. It is what it is. This is a different time, a different world. Now you see Rush Propst trying to feed the team, doing some things wrong. There was a board meeting last week, and they voted to fire Rush Propst. And all the news outlets went out and said, boom, he's been fired. But I have an inside source. I have a gentleman at the board meeting. He writes me a DM. He says, Rico, we did not fire this man. We're actually going to revote after a break, and I'm talking to a couple of my colleagues, and I think they're going to flip it and not fire him. And sure enough, they flipped the vote and didn't fire him. All the news outlets looked ridiculous, ignorant as hell, and we were looking pretty. We're doing the damn thing. I'm like, yo, I got this. And I went ahead and posted my story and said, listen, guys, I know he's not fired, but here we are a week later. This man resigns. So you can see the letter here. It's folded. It's got the crease. I took a picture of it, saved it to my computer, and said, let's rock with it. This will be good enough. So he says this afternoon I submitted my resignation. I don't want to read the whole letter to you, but he said in here, it's never been my intention to cause controversy or division in this community. What? As Daniel Giddens points out, he never intended to cause problems. Everywhere he goes, there are problems. Look, man, just right off into the sunset. I said it on TikTok. I'll say it again. I hope you enjoy retirement just as much as Joe Pa. I hope you go out in a blaze of glory, bro. I hope you don't wake up in a few days and everything works out for you, okay? Shout out to you, Rush Propst. You've been cheating your ass off for years. You've been teaching young men integrity doesn't matter, and I'm sick of this shit. I'm so glad you're not a coach. Shout out to any man out there aspiring to be a high school head coach. Go apply for the job, because other men deserve this job, not Rush Propst. He's terrible, bro. Enjoy your life with your mistress, buddy. Your friends don't know, but Rico knows.